major magnitude earthquake has hit the island of Haiti in the Caribbean. The quake measured around 7 points on the Richter scale, and its epicenter fell just 10 miles from the capital, Port-au-Prince. Haiti's ambassador to the U.S. has described the event as a catastrophe of major proportions.
Probably the most devastating humanitarian crisis that Hillary Clinton faced during her tenure at the State Department was the tragic earthquake in Haiti. It happened in January of 2010, and literally in a matter of seconds, 250,000 people were estimated to have died, and a large portion of the Haitian infrastructure and economy was just decimated.
The United States is offering our full assistance to Haiti and to others in the region. We will be providing both civilian and military disaster relief and humanitarian assistance, and our prayers are with the people who have suffered, their families, and their loved ones.
In the days and weeks that followed the earthquake in January of 2010, Hillary Clinton made visits to Haiti.
And here's the latest on Haiti. U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton arrived in Port-au-Prince just about an hour ago. She is the highest-ranking U.S. official in Haiti right now since Tuesday's earthquake. She's meeting with Haitian leaders and international officials to discuss the rescue and relief efforts.
In fact, on her first visit, which occurred days after the earthquake, they literally had to stop traffic going in to the airport at Port-au-Prince. There, of course, were relief supplies that were being flown in, but that traffic was stopped so the Secretary of State could come and assess the damage.
There is a perception, and there have been complaints or reports of bottlenecks, that there's a lot of aid coming in, but it's very hard to get it out to the people who need it.
That's just not true. The aid is coming in, we're getting it out, there's just not enough of it yet.
She flew in with her political aides on a large federal airplane. She landed at the airport. She made a large press conference, made statements about her commitment to rebuilding this country, and then she was soon whisked away, headed back to Washington, D.C.
The quake struck just before dusk. Its power shook the densely populated capital, Port-au-Prince, to its core. Shoddy construction in this impoverished nation meant buildings toppled to the ground. A hospital was flattened. Even the presidential palace couldn't withstand the force. The UN says it can't account for many of its staff after its mission headquarters were destroyed. Phone lines were disrupted, making it hard to learn the severity of the situation. The daylight is expected to bring signs of even more damage and many casualties. Haiti's 9 million residents are among the poorest in the Western Hemisphere. It may be some time before the extent of this disaster becomes clear.
Dá uma olhada na poeira da tragédia. Meu Deus do céu. Acabou de desmoronar a igreja. Por pouco não caiu em cima da gente.
10 years ago, Haiti was ravaged by a 7.3 magnitude earthquake. Catastrophic destruction left over 1.5 million people homeless. Over 220,000 people were killed, more than 300,000 injured. In the weeks following the earthquake, there was hope that Haiti could rebuild. An outpouring of support came from around the world in the form of volunteers, rescue and medical teams, celebrities, and donations. Millions and millions of dollars. The most watched telethon in history, called Hope for Haiti Now, raised $58 million within 24 hours. But that didn't happen because much of the funds never reached Haitian hands. $3 billion was donated to UN agencies and NGOs by private donors. And over the last 10 years, more than $13 billion was contributed. But of that $13 billion, it's estimated only 48% made it to Haiti. On top of everything else, a cholera outbreak swept the country months after the earthquake, brought in by United Nations peacekeepers. the epidemic killed thousands. Many Haitians were just trying to get out of the country. Canada opened its arms to thousands of refugees, giving immigration priority to those affected.
An earthquake on Tuesday has caused buildings to collapse and devastated the city of Jérémie. Another natural disaster only days after massive floods took dozens of lives. Torrential rain that fell from Friday till Sunday caused floods and landslides across Haiti. The floods killed at least 51 people and injured 140. The local government says 18 are still missing. The footage of people picking up clothing that has been washed away by the flood shows just how much rain poured in the area. This mother lost a child.
I lost a 5-year-old child. I risked losing 2, but God left the other one hanging in a tree. I saved one, but I lost one anyway.
Authorities say more than 30,000 houses have been flooded. The United Nations Secretary General spokesperson Stephen Dujarric told reporters on Tuesday that the Secretary General extended his condolences to the families of the victims and said the UN is ready to help Haiti. Rescue operations are also hindered by Haiti's ongoing problem with criminal gangs that are in control of many areas.
These are some of the 33 Haitian children an American Baptist group allegedly tried to unlawfully take out of the country on Saturday. Orphans and abandoned children, victims of the earthquake, some as young as 2 months old. The Haitian authorities stopped the bus they were on as they were about to cross into neighboring Dominican Republic. With them were 10 Americans. They are now in police custody. And they reportedly say they were planning to set up an orphanage for the children in the Dominican Republic.
Our understanding was that, and we were told by a number of people, including Dominican authorities, that we would be able to bring the children across. I understand that. Sir, that's the mistake obviously we made, is we did not understand that there was additional paperwork required.
The group insists this was an act of charity, not profit, with the consent of the children's families.
I saw that family members were giving them away because the parents were dead, and the family members couldn't support them, so the families were giving their children up so they could be cared for and to study.
The earthquake has left tens of thousands of children homeless. And the chaos it brought makes Haiti ripe for human trafficking. That's why the government imposed tight restrictions on adoption earlier this month. Restrictions it says the American group has violated.
The foundation was originally started around 1997 by Bill Clinton in an effort to raise money to build a presidential library. Since then, it's come to raise an estimated $2 billion in total, which is used to fund philanthropic efforts by the foundation itself. It's important to note that the charity rarely disperses grants to other people or organizations, instead preferring to fund its own humanitarian efforts. Charity Navigator gave the Clinton Foundation 4 out of 4 stars, and Charity Watch gave the group an A for spending the majority of its funds on actual charitable missions. According to the foundation itself, key humanitarian goals include economic development, climate change, health and wellness, and increased participation of girls and women. There's also a group called the Clinton Global Initiative, which is effectively a collection of super powerful people like U2 frontman Bono, the CEO of Facebook Sheryl Sandberg, Bill Gates, and many others coming together to propose solutions to global problems. But the foundation has been criticized for some of its funding methods. When rebuilding Haiti following a natural disaster in 2010, the Clinton Foundation used the relief effort to help public branding, but many accused the organization of only providing contracts to those who had made significant donations to the foundation. One example saw a construction contract automatically given to a company owned by major donor Warren Buffett instead of being selected through a standard UN bidding process. The fact that Bill Clinton is a former president and that Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State means that there's plenty of room for conflicts of interest. When Hillary Clinton accepted the position of Secretary of State, the foundation stopped accepting donations from foreign governments and conflicting private interests. However, as soon as her tenure ended, millions poured into the foundation from countries like Saudi Arabia, largely from private donors closely tied to the Saudi royal family. In fact, according to an investigation by the Associated Press, of the 154 people from private interests who met with or spoke to Clinton while she was Secretary of State, 85 of them ended up donating large amounts of money to the foundation immediately after she left the position. In total, those 85 donors contributed more than $150 million. Additionally, according to The Intercept, donors from Saudi Arabia gave between $10 million and $25 million, along with another $1 to $5 million coming from Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, and Brunei. The intersection of Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State and potential president, while also accepting donations from people and governments seeking to influence U.S. policy, clearly raises suspicions.
Turns out he had an intimate dinner with Ghislaine Maxwell in Los Angeles. Maxwell, of course, is famous and was famous then for procuring underage girls for sex with Jeffrey Epstein.
Today, we announce the unsealing of sex trafficking charges against Jeffrey Epstein. The victims, all underage girls at the time of the alleged conduct, were given hundreds of dollars in cash. As alleged, Epstein also paid certain victims to recruit additional girls to be similarly abused. This allowed Epstein to create an ever-expanding web of new victims.
Billionaire businessman Jeffrey Epstein was arrested in New York Saturday on federal charges related to sex trafficking.
Epstein was arrested when his private jet landed from Paris.
Agents executed a search warrant on his mansion in New York City.
Inside, investigators found hundreds of female nude photographs, some of the photos seeming to show underage girls.
He is now facing up to 45 years in prison on charges that he was running a sex trafficking ring in the early 2000s.
Jeffrey Epstein traveled in highly influential and wealthy social circles. He has been tied to former President Bill Clinton, as well as Great Britain's Prince Andrew.
This is the second time federal prosecutors have gone after Epstein. Back in 2008, there was outrage after federal prosecutors struck a plea deal.
The agreement allowed Epstein to avoid federal sex abuse charges and a possible life sentence.
According to prosecutors, he is, quote, not reformed, not chastened, he is not repentant.
Bill Clinton. Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. A lot of problems.
I on Jeffrey Epstein's Lolita Express 26 times. 26 times, Bill. What were you doing on Jeffrey Epstein's plane? He knows. James Patterson knows who Jeffrey Epstein is.
Their ties to pedophilia don't end there. Monica Peterson was a research intern at the Laboratory to Combat Human Trafficking and a research fellow and assistant director at the Human Trafficking Center. She also served on the Colorado Human Trafficking Council's Data and Research Task Force. Peterson wrote and spoke prolifically on human trafficking. On August 15, 2015, Monica announced her plan to visit Haiti to conduct research on human trafficking and subsequently began living there full-time. On January 3, 2016, Monica shared with her friend Bella some of her findings based on her fieldwork in Haiti up to that point. Quote, Ms. Clinton has corrupt and dirty business to finish in Haiti. This is the theory my master's thesis puts forth. This is modern structural slavery. But the real significance of this scandal for me, I know you feel me, Bella, is the link to contemporary slavery and trafficking. I can't say to what extent, but there is human trafficking happening through the Clintons' Caracal complex. By this point, Monica seemed to be investigating the Clinton Foundation's child trafficking ties full-time. On November 13, 2016, Monica Peterson was reported dead in Haiti, although no body was ever retrieved for the family's burial service. Monica's family was told that she committed suicide, but they were kept in the dark as to the exact details of her death. Peterson's professor, Claude d'Estrie, said the following about her death. Quote, she decided to take on one of the demagogues in the field of human trafficking. She produced a 110-page analysis of human trafficking in Haiti. 2 years of research. We were looking for someone who was smart enough and maybe brave enough to publish her work. I will continue to seek out and publish it for her. After making this statement, d'Estrie suddenly disavowed any connections between Peterson and human trafficking and the Clintons. D'Estrie said Peterson had gone to Haiti a number of times, but she was not there to research human trafficking and was not investigating the Clinton Foundation. Why would D'Estrie do a public 180? It turns out that he worked as a supervisor in the U.S. Attorney's Office on behalf of DynCorp between 1999 and 2002. This coincides with the exact time period DynCorp was caught sex trafficking children in Bosnia and Kosovo, and no prosecutions were made. DynCorp played an active role in sexual abuses in Haiti. What if Monica Peterson was actually onto something before she died? What if her discoveries were true? Has anyone else unearthed the Clinton Foundation's alleged ties to human trafficking?
Beyond the neglect, something far more nefarious was occurring. Haitian children were disappearing. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation reported United Nations officials say children have gone missing from hospitals in Haiti since the devastating January 12th earthquake, raising fears of trafficking. We have documented around 15 cases of children disappearing from hospitals and not with their own family at the time, said UNICEF advisor Jean-Luc Legrand. Trafficking networks were springing into action immediately after the disaster and taking advantage of the weakness of local authorities and relief coordination to kidnap children and get them out of the country, reported the Australian Broadcasting Corporation. One such person arrested for trafficking was New Life Child's refuge owner Laura Silsby, who, according to WikiLeaks documents, Hillary Clinton had been very interested in 9 years before the 2010 Haitian earthquake, and it was Bill Clinton that used his former presidential weight to have Silsby essentially freed. Oddly enough, on November 14th, the Laboratory to Combat Human Trafficking reported that Monica Peterson, investigating the Clintons' involvement in Haiti for the Human Trafficking Center, mysteriously died the day before. Peterson had been highly critical of the Clinton Foundation, writing on her blog, "Hillary Clinton should get far more scrutiny for her scandalous conduct in Haiti." From rigging the March 2011 presidential election for her favored candidate Michael Sweet Mickey Martelly, supporter of the CIA-created death squad, to ensuring that her brother Tony Rodham and a company that barely exists got a sweetheart gold mine concession in Haiti that royally cheated the state of Haiti. In a letter to her friend, Peterson had uncovered 2 huge trafficking scandals and a social displacement scandal with billions in unaccounted earthquake aid leading directly back to the Clintons. She had just begun investigating the correlation regarding the Clinton Foundation's Caracol Industrial Park complex and its connection to a human trafficking network when her life was mysteriously cut short. Something doesn't add up.
He was the UN Special Envoy to Haiti, and she was the Secretary of State.
We believe in Haiti's promise.
And together, the Clintons played prominent roles after the earthquake, as for-profit companies and aid organizations rushed in to be part of a $10 billion reconstruction program. Now, new emails between the State Department and the Clinton Foundation, obtained by Clinton's Republican opponents, appear to show that those considered FOB, Friend of Bill, or using their initials, WJC HRC Friends, got special attention from the State Department. Need you to flag when people are friends of WJC, wrote one State Department official to her counterpart at the Clinton Foundation in one of the emails provided to ABC News.
When you look at the record, people who have been contributors to the foundation or have been close with the Clintons who have benefited from reconstruction in Haiti.
The State Department says its only goal was trying to figure out who could best get aid to quake victims as soon as possible. But even before last week's hurricane, we found tens of thousands of people still living in what was supposed to have been temporary shelter. Do you think you'll have a permanent home at some point?
No.
And while the emails do not indicate who did or did not get a contract in Haiti, they do show what happened to those without a connection to the Clintons. Is this FOB? Asked the State Department official of the foundation. If not, they should go to a public website clearinghouse. The foundation told ABC News no special treatment was expected or given in Haiti, or anywhere, says the president.
Nothing was ever done for anybody because they were a contributor to the foundation. Nothing.
One of the biggest beneficiaries of the Clinton reconstruction efforts in Haiti was a Korean garment company recruited to this new industrial park, built at a cost of some $400 million, including almost $175 million in U.S. taxpayer money. The company, called Saya, one of the world's largest garment manufacturers, now has some 9,000 workers in Haiti and proudly shows off the 2 local schools it built nearby. But the company was selected despite a track record of worker abuse and sexual harassment in Guatemala. Company officials told us those were isolated instances.
We've seen the records. This company has a history of that.
That is not something he is aware of.
I want to thank Chairman Kim and Saya for many things.
Saya later became a Clinton Foundation donor, and its chairman has since helped finance a private business for top Clinton aide Cheryl Mills, who was instrumental in bringing the company to Haiti. Even as the Clintons have been praised for their efforts in an incredibly difficult place to operate, the new emails provide a rare glimpse of the cozy connection between Hillary Clinton's State Department and Bill Clinton's foundation. Mr. Clinton declined to comment for our report, but in a recent appearance, he talked about the issue.
I'm sure we made a few mistakes, but way, way more good than harm was done.
In 2010, the earthquake of Haiti, not only American taxpayers, but the whole world has given billions of dollars to the Clinton Foundation for the Haitians. Not even 2% of that money went back to Haiti. So, Mr. Trump, we are asking you, begging you, the Haitian community will side with you if one day you ask Hillary Clinton publicly to disclose the audit of all the money they have stolen from Haiti in 2010 after the earthquake. Haiti is a very poor country. Haiti needs defenders. You said you will champion our cause. We welcome you, sir, and we will work with you. But please, ask publicly Hillary Clinton, during your next debate, to publish the audit of all the money they have stolen from Haiti. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And you take a look at the people of Haiti. I was at a little Haiti the other day in Florida, and I want to tell you, they hate the Clintons because what's happened in Haiti with the Clinton Foundation is a disgrace. And you know it, and they know it, and everybody knows
Secretary
Well,
Clinton.
very quickly, we at the Clinton Foundation spend 90% of all the money that is donated on behalf of programs of people around the world and in our own country. I'm very proud of that. We have the highest rating from the watchdogs that follow foundations, and I'd be happy to compare what we do with the Trump Foundation, which took money from other people and bought a 6-foot portrait of Donald. I mean, who does that? It just was astonishing. But when it comes to Haiti, Haiti is the poorest country in our hemisphere. The earthquake and the hurricanes, it has devastated Haiti. Bill and I have been involved in trying to help Haiti for many years. The Clinton Foundation raised $30 million to help Haiti after the catastrophic earthquake and all of the terrible problems the people there had. We've done things to help small businesses, agriculture, and so much else. And we're going to keep working to help Haiti because it's an important part of the American
They don't want you to help them anymore.
I'm here joined by Joseph. Joseph, can you explain to us why is the Haitian community mad at Hillary Clinton?
Well, we have every reason to be mad because the Clintons have destroyed Haiti for the decades. And, you know, they pretend to be our friends when in reality they are our #1 enemies. You know, there are some other people who clearly behave like they don't like us. So it's easy for us to protect ourselves against them because we know they are our enemies. But the Clintons are even more dangerous because they pretend to be our friends when in reality they're destroying Haiti.
Because I heard that the Clinton Foundation and all these other organizations gave over $6 billion to Haiti for the relief effort, especially during the kind of natural disasters that you guys have gone through. Is that true?
No, it's more than true. The money is much more than $6 billion. You see, after the earthquake, countries around the world donate billions of dollars. The amount was much larger than $6 billion. And Bill Clinton was in charge of the money. And not only people around the world, but also American celebrities donate a lot of larger money to rebuild Haiti. And hundreds of homes were destroyed after the earthquake. And if you can believe, the people are still living under tents. That's unacceptable. And not only they held the money, they kept the money, but Haiti had enough resources for them to be very comfortable. Haiti have oil, more oil than Venezuela. Nobody's talking about. Haiti have gold. We have one of the largest gold mines in the Caribbean. So, and they let the world, nobody's saying anything about our goals. Yeah. And who do you think is in charge of our gold right now? The contract. Yeah. Tony Rodham, Hillary Clinton's brother. Wow. He's got a 26 years contract. And then also Haiti used to produce, we used to produce our own rice. We didn't have to buy rice overseas. Bill Clinton destroyed our rice so his brother can sell the rice from Arkansas. Yeah, wow. So they're doing a lot of things. Right now, if there's a millionaire or a billionaire who wants to do business in Haiti, they cannot do anything unless they check with the Clintons. The Clintons are the one who's running Haiti.
In 1981, the United States has followed a policy until the last year or so we started rethinking it, that we rich countries that produce a lot of food should sell it to poor countries and relieve them of the burden of producing their own food. So thank goodness they can leap directly into the industrial era. It has not worked. It's maybe been good for some of my farmers in Arkansas, but it has not worked. It was a mistake. It was a mistake that I was a party to. I am not pointing the finger at anybody. I did that. I have to live every day with the consequences of the lost capacity to produce a rice crop in Haiti to feed those people because of what I did, nobody else.
The international community responded in the way that you would expect it to. That is, large amounts of money were committed, up to $13 billion from international relief organizations.
And of course, you had the official role of the State Department,
which would be point on U.S. taxpayer dollars going to Haiti for the purposes of relief.
I want to assure the people of Haiti that the United States is a friend, a partner, and a supporter.
Hillary Clinton's State Department would oversee the reconstruction effort, with Chief of Staff Cheryl Mills responsible for the allocation of U.S. tax dollars through USAID. And Bill Clinton, already appointed special envoy to Haiti for the United Nations, was named co-chair of the Interim Haiti Recovery Commission, along with a former Haitian prime minister.
I hope that it will be rebuilt in a much stronger and more sustainable way, and I think the Haitians want that.
So this was clearly a Clinton operation from the beginning. Now, the Haitians had their own ideas about how best to rebuild their country. They wanted new roads. They wanted buildings rebuilt. And that's what you would expect. This is how you recover from an earthquake. The problem is that the Clintons had their own agenda, the interests of major donors who had a vested interest in spending that money in Haiti in ways that would benefit them.
And so you immediately had this clash between the Haitians and the Clintons. And Haitians complained almost immediately that they were shut out of the decision-making process, that it was really Bill Clinton and a few of his friends that were calling the shots in the IHRC. And they made some monumentally bad decisions that not only didn't benefit the Haitian people, but ended up putting money in the pockets of major Clinton donors who had economic stakes in Haiti.
We have been united behind a single goal: making investments in this country's people and your infrastructure.
So it's a classic example of what some people call disaster capitalism. Disaster capitalism in that a natural disaster creates opportunities for rebuilding to take place, but also for self-enrichment to take place. And if you look at the Clintons and the promises that were made and the results that actually followed, it is a tragic story of crony capitalism gone awry.
The single largest relief project that the United States committed taxpayer dollars to, $124 million to be exact, was a project called Caracol, a textile factory that was built in the northern part of the country that was supposed to create some 60,000 jobs and was supposed to create tremendous economic growth.
There's a problem here already. You see, the earthquake affected the southern part of Haiti. The northern part of the country was entirely unaffected.
But who were the beneficiaries of this? Companies like Gap, Target, and Walmart, to name a few. The Caracol factory was built, but it didn't create 60,000 jobs. It created barely 5,000 jobs. But the major American companies who got textiles tariff-free, made at low wages, benefited enormously.
And the end effect on the Haitians was very, very minimal. If you look at some of the infrastructure projects that were undertaken, the Clintons had very grand plans to build large tracts of homes, and there were contractors that were selected for those projects. Sometimes the contractors had experience, sometimes they did not.
There's one company in Florida that spent $1 million getting equipment into Haiti. They had experience in disaster relief, but according to the owners of that company, they only made a small donation to the Clinton Foundation. And guess what? They didn't get any relief contracts. On the other hand, the contractors who did win the awards were given the opportunity to build homes, and in some instances were supposed to build tens of thousands of homes for Haitians. They ended up building a fraction of that. For instance, the New Settlements program was supposed to build 15,000 homes for $53 million. Instead, it built 2,600 homes, less than a quarter of the original estimate, for $90 million, or $47 million over budget.
And they got away with it. Shortly after the earthquake took place, U.S. Ambassador in Haiti sent a cable to the State Department, the title of which was "The Gold Rush is On." And the memo was about the fact that businessmen and companies were showing up in Haiti trying to seek lucrative contracts.
It was the job of the IHRC to oversee this process and to ensure no one took advantage of the situation. But what if it was part of the problem?
A number of members of the IHRC actually wrote a letter expressing their concerns that they were not involved in the process, that all the decisions were being made by Clinton and Bellarive. In addition, they claimed and argued that the national priorities of Haiti were basically being totally disregarded by the decisions that were being made.
As Haiti dug itself out of the rubble, many projects were initiated, often with U.S. money and a connection to the Clintons. For instance, there was the Haitian Mobile Money Initiative, where a much-needed system was created to help transfer money via cell phones. There was also a plan to raise money by exploiting Haiti's rich mineral wealth.
The Haitian government announces that they're going to offer 2 so-called gold exploitation permits, the first issued in 50 years in Haiti, that would allow for the extraction and gold mining in the country.
Perhaps the most celebrated project of all was Caracol Industrial Park.
What is happening here in Caracol is already having ripple effects that will create jobs and opportunities far beyond this industrial park.
The grand opening of Caracol was a big deal. You had Bill Clinton there, you had Hillary Clinton there, you had Donna Karan, the fashion designer, you had Ben Stiller, you had Sean Penn. Lots of people showed up to say how wonderful this facility was going to be for everybody.
But as all these projects moved forward, questions were raised. The central question, the question which Schweitzer investigated, was about how so many of these deals seemed to come back at some point to the Clintons.
What quickly became apparent to many people was that if you wanted a contract, if you wanted to do business in Haiti, you had to have relationships with the Clinton. That was absolutely key.
The company that cleaned up on the cell phone transfers was Digicel.
In the 6 months running up to September 2012, they took in more than $50 million in revenue in Haiti.
Digicel is run by Irish billionaire Dennis O'Brien, who set up lucrative speeches for Bill Clinton, as well as donating millions of his own money to the Clinton Foundation. And one company that got a rare gold permit was VCS Mining, which didn't actually have much mining experience, but would soon have Hillary Clinton's brother, Tony Rodham, on its board. As for the Caracol Industrial Park, the anchor tenant is a Korean manufacturer, which supplies to major U.S. retailers, who also happen to be big Clinton supporters.
A Haitian special committee on Monday said there was a high level of fraud in Haiti's presidential elections last October, enough even to recommend nullifying the results. The committee found that there were 628,000 zombie votes or untraceable votes. The election was also backed by over $33 million in U.S. funding. Our next guest, Nicholas Barry Shaw, has been following the issue and more specifically the role the U.S. and Hillary Clinton has played in the debacle. He says she triggered massive political unrest by throwing her weight behind former President Michel Martelly in the 2010 election, who stepped down earlier this year and whom many felt was corrupt.
Dennis O'Brien is one of the world's richest people, and he's finding opportunities in the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. The Irish billionaire is the largest private investor in Haiti through his company Digicel, and he's now leading the Clinton Global Initiative efforts down in Haiti.
Probably no one came out better in the Haitian reconstruction effort than an Irish billionaire named Dennis O'Brien. He is a Clinton Foundation donor, giving them between $5 and $10 million. He helped arrange speeches for Bill Clinton, too.
The interest of the Obama administration, particularly the former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, you know, all the different things that have happened to help Haiti get up off the floor have been led by the U.S.
And he was the owner of something called Digicel, which is a cell phone company at the time of the earthquake. As part of that relief effort, the State Department run by Hillary Clinton wanted to fund a mobile money transfer service that would allow Haitian citizens to transfer and receive money on their phones. Well, Digicel applied to be the recipient of that grant money. 4 weeks after their application, Digicel actually sponsored a speech for Bill Clinton in Jamaica, and they paid him $225,000. And as it turns out, within 4 months of that speech, Digicel would receive the first installment of that grant money.
Well, Clinton, this was one of the first projects of the commission, and there's been very little transparency and accountability despite all these buzzwords, you know, sustainable development, community consultation. Around this commission, it's kind of widely seen as very opaque and labyrinthian. So we thought we'd just pick one project and really investigate it. And since this was one of the first, and it was one of the few that's actually completed, we thought, you know, perfect. And what we found was, I mean, not only are these hurricane-proof shelters, trailers, which cannot be hurricane-proof according to, you know, U.S. standards, but, you know, they were riddled with any number of problems. They're extremely hot, they're leaking, there's mold, you know, there's visibly already starting to rot even though they're freshly installed. So we thought, given that Clinton himself was the one who coined this term, build back better, we're going to build back better Haiti, what does this mean for what's to come of the Commission's projects?
After the outbreak, my foundation responded, allocating $1 million to the government so that we could move supplies down there in a hurry. In addition to the health outbreaks, the hurricane season remains a threat, especially to those still living in camps. My foundation has contributed $1 million there to the construction of emergency storm shelters in Leogane.
But according to a new expose in The Nation magazine, the shelters turned out to be a series of trailers beset with problems, including mold, shoddy construction, in one case, worrying levels of formaldehyde. The trailers are also built by the same company, Clayton Homes, that's currently being sued in the U.S. for providing formaldehyde-laced trailers to displaced residents after Hurricane Katrina. A student and teacher at a school housed in the trailers described the conditions there.
The class gets so hot, kids get headaches, and we go to the teacher for him to give us painkillers.
I believe that the Grand Foundation of Clinton, given that we're speaking of a school, Clinton would build latrines for us so that the children can go to the toilet safely, given that we're under the iron rule of cholera. It's not finished. It's not too late. We're waiting for a lot of things from Clinton, and Clinton can do good things for Haiti.
Haiti's new prime minister says the estimated $20 billion worth of minerals in Haiti's hills could help liberate it from dependency on foreign aid and rebuild from the devastating 2010 earthquake. But many worry the mines will be a boom for foreign investors and a bust for local communities.
Very quietly and very quickly, these foreign companies have purchased licenses to either explore or go all the way and exploit. As you said, it's over 1,000 square miles of Haiti's north. And this is in a circumstance where we have the poorest country in the hemisphere, possibly the most corrupt government in the hemisphere. Recent allegations have come out of the Dominican Republic of massive corruption of this current president and perhaps cabinet, but also we have probably the most neoliberal government in the hemisphere whose slogan is Haiti is open for business. And so you've got a perfect storm brewing whereby you're looking at giant pit mines in the north in a country that's already environmentally devastated, and giant pit mines being run by Canadian and American companies who have done this all over the world in third world countries where most of the money that's made and most of the gold that's dug up will go straight north.
Can you tell us, Jane, about the farmer who brought you a letter that led to this investigation?
Yes, in fact, that farmer is also a community radio journalist, and I think that that's important to say here on Democracy Now! This story was brought to the attention of me and my students, who are all Haitian investigative journalism students, by a guy who's probably about 65 years old. And he had a letter in his hand that said that Eurasian Minerals has the right to explore in 16 communities. And he said, we're worried because we heard that gold mining can sometimes pollute the water, and we're farmers.
That will be great for us. We feel very strongly about something. We like foreigners a lot. When foreigners come here and work with us, we are proud and it is beautiful. If they made a mine at Mournbosa, it would be as if God himself came down from heaven.
But don't you think the company might be ripping you off?
Yes, that could happen.
Let's get to our top story. The Haitian Prime Minister is calling 10 American missionaries kidnappers. Now, the missionaries are behind bars tonight in Haiti for child trafficking after allegedly trying to take 33 Haitian children into the Dominican Republic. Now, some of those kids thought they were just heading for camp and even said that their parents were still alive. Now, colleagues of the Baptist missionaries say it is just all a misunderstanding, that they were just trying to rescue Haitian orphans after the earthquake. Well, here to weigh in on this controversy is investigative reporter and RT contributor Wayne Matson. Wayne, I want to thank you for being here. So, Haiti's authorities say that the missionaries were part of an illegal adoption scheme. But the pastor of the church says that they never meant to cause any trouble. What is your take on this?
Well, unfortunately, every time there's a disaster of the magnitude as the earthquake in Haiti, we see three types of individuals come in and prey on children who've been displaced. Happens every time. There's three different types of people that show up, unfortunately, on these scenes. There's the adoption mills, and that's what this group seems to be involved with, taking these children to the northern coast of the Dominican Republic, where there are plans by this group that's based in Idaho to set up a huge complex, including seaside villas for waiting parents who are waiting to adopt children, to a restaurant. It doesn't sound like this is just a bunch of church people trying to adopt kids. There's a lot of money behind it. Also, pedophiles show up for child sex exploitation. And also we know from the Haitian Prime Minister that he's charging that some of these children were being taken for organ harvesting.
Well, speaking of the Haitian Prime Minister, I mean, he has said publicly before that this is a problem, child trafficking, as you said, organ trafficking. So is it possible that the Haitian government just wants to really send a strong message here, and that these people could potentially be innocent?
Well, when you look at the website of this group, and it's the Haitian Orphan Rescue Mission in Idaho, they're saying that they originally planned to pick up 100 children off the streets of Port-au-Prince, their terminology, and they were going to deliver them to a hotel that they've bought in Cabarete on the northern coast of the Dominican Republic. I would point out the northern coast of the Dominican Republic is also a well-known place magnet for pedophiles who go there for sex tourism, unfortunately including minors. But if you look at this, they were planning on delivering those children to that hotel on January 24th. They were arrested on the Haitian-Dominican border crossing on January 29th. So the issue is, had they already been in Haiti and taken kids and they were on their second trip to the Dominican Republic? And I think
before the earthquake?
Before they were arrested by the Haitian authorities. So January 24th, they planned to take 100 children. So there's something not right even from their own website that what their plans were. I think this is what the Haitian authorities are looking at, and that's why they're investigating this particular group. Set up with all these various religious organizations, all tax-exempt organizations, and they can hide behind this, ostensibly this charity work to cover for other things like running adoption mills. And as I said, in past disasters, we've seen pedophiles come in, especially in Thailand and Banda Aceh in Indonesia. They were there to abduct children.
I also wanted to point out that the U.S. State Department has said that the Haitian adoption system is working effectively, but I do want to thank you for your analysis, RT contributor Wayne Matson.
Details have emerged from the FBI's reopened investigation into Hillary's emails that were found on Anthony Weiner's laptop, that serious additional crimes were also under investigation that were unrelated to the email server case involving, among other things, child trafficking. Now, WikiLeaks has just released perhaps the biggest bombshell yet, now spreading like wildfire across the web, revealing emails showing how the Clintons supported child stealer Laura Silsby. Now, there was also an email where they were actually pricing how much it costs to transport the children. The evidence is there to prove the Clintons are tied to child abduction. This is no joke. Here is a picture of the child snatcher herself in prison. And pretty soon we should hope to see Hillary Clinton standing in a cell similar to that. Her name is Laura Silsby. She's right there on the far right, and she runs the, quote, it's called the New Life Children's Refuge. It's a nonprofit. She was caught trying to steal 33 children from Haiti back in 2010, and most of them were not orphans and still had families. Now, Hillary has a long relationship with Miss Silsby. WikiLeaks emails date all the way back to 2001 and show that she discussed fundraising for Silsby's group. Now, the Harvard Human Rights Journal revealed that one of Bill Clinton's first tasks in Haiti following the earthquake was to, quote, put out the fire of the child abduction scandal involving American citizens. The journal states, quote, the missionaries were charged with child kidnapping and criminal association. They write that President Clinton brokered the release of all the missionaries except for the group leader, Laura Silsby. And guess who represented Silsby in court? The convicted child kidnapper, George Puello Torres. He was the lawyer on counsel to get the missionaries involved in the child trafficking off the hook. Now, the same group, known as the New Life Children's Refuge, was caught emailing Hillary's campaign multiple times. Now, in Clinton email 3741, remember that, write it down, Clinton email 3741, they actually list the cost to transport a child. Investigators at the NC Renegade made the horrific plot very clear. Quote, what is coming to light is that the Clinton Foundation actually funded or otherwise supported the charitable organizations which were run as cover for these child abductions. They state, so while the organizations were doing disaster relief, there were child predators among the legitimate relief workers selecting children for special handling, which were removed from their home countries and delivered to the pedophile island by private aircraft. This is a shocking revelation, my friends. They write here, with the new information about the people involved in the charity, it should make everyone reading this want to vomit.
Klaus Eberwin was scheduled to appear Tuesday before the Haitian Senate Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission and testify on funds stolen from the Haitian government tied to donations to the Clinton Foundation. However, he was found dead with a gunshot wound to the head. According to the Miami Herald, his death has been ruled as suicide. It's been reported that Eberwin was to testify that the Clinton Foundation had misappropriated funds meant for disaster relief in Haiti. According to reports, Eberwin had previously stated that only 0.6% of the funds collected for Haiti actually made it into the hands of Haitians, and that the remaining $5.4 billion had been funneled to other organizations. Eberwein was quoted as saying at a protest outside of the Clinton Foundation headquarters that, quote, "The Clinton Foundation, they are criminals. They are thieves. They are liars. They are a disgrace." Friends and family are shocked, saying he had planned to open a restaurant soon and was in good spirits.
Well, as most of you know, I'm Monica's mother, Marcia, but probably a lot of you really didn't know Monica all that well since she grew up in Ames, Iowa, and then moved to Colorado. We were back to Michigan for visits, but she didn't really get to know everybody. You didn't get to know her. So today I just want to share some of her life with you, and so you can kind of get to know her a little bit and know about who she was and what she believed in. And the brochure has some of that, but then I'm just going to do some other things. So Monica was a complex young woman. She cared deeply for others, especially the oppressed and the disenfranchised. She had endless time and energy and motivation to work toward the achievement of the causes she dedicated herself to. Monica didn't take the easy path in life. She traveled, volunteered, researched, and worked in difficult, underdeveloped areas of the world. Her personal comforts were often very minimal, but she coped and she met each challenge head on. During her time at Denver University, Monica became interested in the problems of human trafficking and the flawed research models in that field. Monica worked at the Human Trafficking Center, the Social Wellness Advocacy Network, the Colorado Human Trafficking Council, the Colorado State Capitol, the Laboratory to Combat Human Trafficking, and the University of Nebraska-Lincoln Human Trafficking Conference. Monica went to Haiti in September to fulfill her aspirations of bettering the world for others. She felt that Haiti was so close to the United States borders that we should help them. Monica was teaching social studies at the Union School and working to start a non-governmental organization. The NGO that she was wanting to get started was an affordable guest house for volunteers in Haiti, which would have then helped her to fund research in human trafficking, which, as we know now, never came to pass. And on Sunday, November 13th, Monica died in Haiti. She seemingly took her own life by hanging. But since that time, things that have come to light that just don't fit with Monica's life and her personality. When she went there 10 weeks ago, she was happy, she was up, she was motivated. And so we just don't know what happened, what changed so much. And her family, her friends, her colleagues just don't see this as being her. And yes, she was upset by some of her personal and living conditions in Haiti, but she dealt with similar conditions in other countries. She knew she could leave and no one would place blame on her. So we don't want to deny or blame as a family, but none of this seems to fit that. And maybe that's just the way it's always going to be. We will likely always have more questions than answers about what transpired in that time. Monica, we only wish you could know how loved and honored and respected you were as a person and a professional. Monica, you were not a perfect person, and you challenged us as parents and sister at times, but we loved you without limits, and we always will. Monica, your amazing smile that lit the world wherever you went will live on in all of our memories. May you have peace and spiritual bliss forever.
To reportedly take his life was Republican strategist Peter Smith. An opposition researcher and GOP donor, Smith died more than a week after he gave an interview with the Wall Street Journal about his quest against Hillary Clinton. He told the newspaper he was working to retrieve the 33,000 emails believed erased from Clinton's private server. But his death is raising eyebrows. The suicide note said, quote, "There was no foul play whatsoever." It also said Smith took his own life because of a terminal illness and that his life insurance was about to expire. The autopsy said he died of asphyxiation due to displacement of oxygen in a confined space with helium. Despite the note, the Wall Street Journal said the operative was close to finding the truth behind the emails, was hell-bent on locking up Hillary, and showed no signs of giving up on his goal.
He was on the record. He reached out to me. He was in no way ashamed of what he had done. He was actually quite proud of it and fervently believed that these emails would eventually surface. He really believed that he was at the end, as he described it. He thought that he was at nearly the last chapter of a long saga, and that soon these emails would come to light and that he would ultimately be vindicated in this quest that he was on.
In 2010, we had an earthquake that killed 315,000 people. That's really a deadly earthquake, and millions were left without shelter. President Obama named Bill Clinton as the one who should be in charge of the reconstruction of Haiti. And in that process, the Clinton Foundation, through U.S. taxpayers' money, and people giving money worldwide to the Clinton Foundation for relief effort to Haiti, contributed about $14.3 billion. We're talking about $1 billion, okay? And the Haitian people has not seen not even 2% of that money.
2%?
Nothing was done in Haiti. They were given millions of dollars from that money, and nothing was actually done in Haiti. Haiti, just like everything the Clinton have done, is pay for play, and they control Haiti, and they have been controlling Haiti since 1994 when they invaded Haiti. Myself, I can tell you that back in August of 1994, I was always in contact with U.S. officials, and one of the person that came to see me in Haiti and talked to me for about 4 hours was ex-former Congressman Bill Richardson. And I explained to Bill the exact situation that was happening in Haiti. A week later, a messenger from the U.S. Embassy came to me with a message from Bill Clinton, offered to buy me out, make me the richest man in Haiti.
Human trafficking flourishes in the shadows and demands attention, commitment, and passion from each and every one of us. Today, millions of people are living in bondage around the world. Under threat of violence, they are forced to labor in fields and factories, to work as domestics in homes that might as well be their prisons, and to walk the streets as prostitutes and beggars. Trafficking weakens legitimate economies. It breaks up families. It fuels violence. It threatens public health and safety, and it shreds the social fabric. It also undermines our efforts to promote peace, prosperity, and human rights worldwide. I've seen firsthand the suffering that trafficking causes. In Thailand, I met girls who had been trafficked as young children and were dying of AIDS. I've met mothers in Eastern Europe who had lost daughters to trafficking and had nowhere to turn for help. I've been on every continent, and I've met those who have suffered because of this scourge. Thanks in part to the efforts of activists and leaders like you, we've seen progress. More than half of all countries have enacted laws prohibiting all forms of human trafficking. New partnerships between law enforcement and non-governmental organizations, including women's shelters and immigrant rights groups, have led to thousands of prosecutions, as well as assistance for many survivors. But despite this progress, today at least 12 million people worldwide are victims of trafficking, and that estimate is certainly too low. New economic pressures are likely to aggravate the problem further, so this conference comes at a time of renewed urgency. It is an opportunity to place a renewed focus on prevention and the root causes of trafficking, along with prosecution and protection. Prevention is one of the 3 Ps of the anti-trafficking fight. In the United States, we've found our National Trafficking Report to be an effective tool in guiding our efforts, and we're eager to share from our experiences and learn from yours. I would like to encourage each OSCE participating state to consider preparing your own national report on human trafficking, including recommendations for further actions. Together, we must implement a comprehensive approach that both confronts criminals and cares for survivors. So thank you again for your hard work and your commitment to this critical issue. Let's redouble our efforts and make a real difference this year. Thank you all very much.
And after 3 long weeks in jail, a Haitian judge believed them, granting freedom to 8 of the 10 Americans charged with child trafficking. The judge did, however, order that the group's leader, Laura Silsby, and another woman remain in custody. They were in Haiti before the earthquake, and their activities are the subject of further investigation. The group of Americans, most of whom are Baptist missionaries, were caught trying to take 33 Haitian children across the border to the Dominican Republic. Shortly after, some parents began coming forward, admitting they gave their children away in hopes of providing them a better life. The hearings were marked with controversy. First, with accusations the group was receiving far better treatment than Haitians facing criminal charges. It was also learned one of the lawyers defending the group was a man suspected of sex trafficking. Haiti's President René Préval defended the judge's decision and dismissed concerns the court had been persuaded by U.S. officials to set the Americans free.
The judiciary system is totally independent, sir.
Hello, how are you feeling?
Good, I'm doing
good. Almost free?
Almost, yeah.
Almost. How are you feeling?
Good, thanks.
Yeah, almost free?
To the children.
Right.
And want a mint.
Chris, was it difficult to see everybody else leave last night and you were still stuck here?
Laura, Sarah Seidner from CNN. I just want to ask you a quick question. What did the judge say to you today?
I can't talk about that yet, okay?
You're the only person left of all the missionaries.
I'm very happy that Krista went home today. Very happy for her freedom, and I expect that mine will soon follow.
Why are you the last person left, though? Why do you think you're the last person?
Because I am the leader of the team. They're still finishing their process.
Did you do anything wrong? Did you try to kidnap these children?
Oh, of course not. I came here to help the children.
Laura Silsby is back on American soil. She was freed by Haitian authorities after she was convicted of illegally trying to take dozens of Haitian children out of the country in the wake of January's giant earthquake. She cried as she greeted family members at the airport.
It feels incredible. I just give praise to my God. I thank him for bringing me home.
Silsby said her faith had gotten her through the ordeal, but she declined to answer reporters' questions about what the last 3 months have been like.
You know, I'll talk about that maybe at a later time. Today is a day of celebration, enjoying my family and my friends, and I've longed for this for a long time.
In addition to her family, members of her church also showed up to greet her.
Their faithful prayers have meant a tremendous amount to me, and we just serve an awesome God. He is sovereign, and I just give all the praise and glory to him.
She was originally charged with kidnapping and criminal association. Those charges were dropped for her and the 9 other Americans who were part of her group. They've also been released.
But while the world eventually lost interest in Haiti's recovery, the influence and connections afforded to donors from the Clinton Foundation appear to have been lessons learned by others. So how much do connections to the Clintons matter when you're talking about Haiti? Consider the case of gold mining. The government of Haiti had not granted a gold mining concession in 50 years. They decided to do so during the reconstruction of their country, which was being overseen by Bill and Hillary Clinton. What company did they select to get this gold mining permit? A company called VCS Mining. VCS Mining had very little experience in gold mining, but what did they have? They had connections. Shortly after they got that concession, someone joined their board of directors. It just happened to be Tony Rodham, brother of Hillary Rodham Clinton. It was a true disaster that followed the earthquake, which was the natural disaster. This was the man-made Clinton-caused disaster in relief that led to the wasting of enormous sums of money, the enrichment of elites that were friends with the Clintons, and the Haitians were left in a situation where their life was really not much better than it was the day after the earthquake happened. You have to recognize that these events are connected. They've created a model for massive self-enrichment that allows you to go into so-called public service, but get extremely rich at the same time. And when friends and allies say that the Clintons aren't really that interested in money, their actions show otherwise. What's so shocking to a lot of people is that making of that money requires them to betray their progressive values, the environment, labor unions, women's rights, human rights. The Clintons are doing business and growing rich with the favor of the very individuals who you would expect to be their political opposites. For a very long time in American history, and probably still to this day, one of the worst things that could be said about you as a politician is that you are on the take from foreign interests. What the Clintons have essentially done is busted down the door and robbed the bank of that concept. So when people think of the Clintons taking foreign money, they think it's maybe an insurance company from Great Britain, or they think it's from a supermarket chain in Canada. The fact of the matter is a lot of that money comes from the darkest, worst corners of the world. From foreign governments, foreign financiers, and businesses. Some of that money lands in their pocket. Some of it lands in their foundation. It's a pattern we've seen repeated over and over and over again all around the world. It's not a coincidence. Money exchanges hands and favors are done.
As we work together to eradicate corruption in our own countries, we should also maintain the highest standards of transparency and accountability in our development efforts around the world. Corruption in emerging markets and fragile democracies undermines the confidence of citizens and investors alike.
Nothing seems to be safe anymore. How is this not corruption? How is this not a crime? With the Clintons, nothing is sacred. Everything is for sale. But we are the ones who are paying the price. Maybe, just maybe, the American people are tired of being sold out.